Select the team you want to join.
Hi.
Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right.
Remember me?
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock.
I don't know what this is, but
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
sorry, accidentally clicked off the stream.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Bye, I guess. Emoji neutral face.
Start the regular season by selecting your season goal. Start your week by installing. Meeting your season goal comes with higher rewards, but also higher risk.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up, and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Well documented that he's the son of a former Major League pitcher, but Pat has always said that football has fired him up in a way that baseball just didn't. He always wanted to be a football player. Still has the big arm that his father had, and he uses it to send the ball downfield in a big way.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go. Blue.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He hits right, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Here we go. Green.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Green 90.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make it.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Tyler Higbee, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play. Margus Hunt breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Christian McCaffrey. His pops was a Giant for 3 years. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
20!
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They do go for it. It's Brady. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and it'll be a turnover on downs. And partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. All right, there's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And a dump off to White. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a carry for White. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside to 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Brady now on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Brady will try again on 2nd down. He's going to look deep for Watkins. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. He was looking for Watkins that time.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready,
second down, here's Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes now on first down. Goes underneath here to White. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space. Let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they'll start with great field position. 41-yard line. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage. near midfield at the 49.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for Bradford now. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he's got this down to the 35. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Second down, Bradford. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Throwing, Bradford. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. To throw is Bradford. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually, you have fourth down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go, and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Our update now from down in Miami. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. Jacoby Brissett with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Trying for Brown.